how to set up consent mode version 2 for your WooCommerce store for free. Simply log into your WordPress site. Under plugins, press on add plugin. Search for Presidium cookie consent plugin from WordPress plugin depository. Install and activate. This plugin gives you a menu option. It says cookie consent. Let's press on that. This plugin is actually consent mode version 2 compliant, and it's a free plugin. But we need to set it up correctly. To be able to consent mode version 2 ready, press on consent mode and enable Google consent mode version 2. This plugin gives you two popular implementations. One is for Google Analytics, or if you're using Google Tag Manager, the plugin gives you step-by-step guide to set up consent mode version 2 if you're using Google Tag Manager. Okay, so basically the steps are the same. I won't cover ads, data redaction, URL bypass. You can read through. Anytime you make changes, press on save changes. So basically you need to enable this. Then under general settings, we need to have page scripts enabled, and at minimum have record consent. So we need to record the consent, and this plugin does that. There are other settings here. Force consent, most people won't use that, so I won't cover that. So I'll cover the required steps and settings for consent mode version 2, which are your page scripts and record consent. Page scripts work with blocked scripts. Actually, I'll show you WooCommerce site, because I've got this set up on the new website as well. So as you can see, the settings are the same really. And this plugin gives you an option to change the color theme, which is actually great. So I won't cover them. Yes, and change the color theme and all that stuff. The default settings are already populated for you, so leave them at default. Then let's go and look at what else we can do and what we need to do. These cookies, we need to provide information to our website visitors as to what cookies are being used on our website. Some cookies for your WooCommerce store are essential, and some of them are for targeting or for different purposes. Now, the smart way to accomplish this thoroughly is by using Google Search Cookie Scanner. There are many different ones that can scan your WooCommerce store to find out, what cookies are set. Here they want my email. I don't want to give them my email, because there's other ones that allow you to scan your website for cookies. Looking at this, don't be confused in terms of necessary, analytics, functional, because most of these free scanners, they try and upsell you silly things, or some of them are good. But when we look at the requirements for Google particularly, we need to understand that it's our website. Correct? So it is us who know what cookies are set and why we use them. For example, you're using Google Analytics, Google Tag Manager for tracking people, correct? So then you're targeting them. So I'll show you a better way to see what cookies are set on your WordPress site. Press on F12 on your keyboard. once you enable this plugin, you're going to see something like this. So I can disable it just to show you. I'll actually disable the plugin just to show you. So we're using WooCommerce. I need to upgrade it. It's an updated, that's okay. So I can disable this here. I'll deactivate it. Now that's deactivated. So let's refresh the page because that's gone now. Use incognito option to test your site to see what cookies are actually set. Meaning don't rely on the cookie scanners only. So if I refresh the page for a typical WooCommerce product URL, I may see different cookies are set here. This is the test that you must absolutely do instead of the cookie scanners. And at this stage you want to compare what you're seeing here and what you're seeing with these scanners, because they'll give you more insights. Here it's saying it's for this domain, that's the cookie name, here's the description. All you then need to do is log into your WordPress site and populate these cookie details accordingly. So I'll re-enable this, refresh the page. Let's look at our cookies. Now, because it's a WooCommerce site, Stripe, if you're using it, which is popular for WooCommerce, then that's a security related cookie. What you can do, if you want to double check things, just search cookie details and just paste the cookie. And then find more information about what that cookie is doing. The reason I show you that is because here it's saying it's for advertising. The cookie scanner for WooCommerce identify this cookie name and it's saying it's used for this advertising for this domain. That's why you want to then say, you know what? At the end of the day, it's your WordPress site, it's your WooCommerce store. And that's an essential cookie because it's related to security. And how long is set for? It's 1 year. Where did I pull that out from? You can either search Google or you can look at the expiration date here. We can see that's set for a year. Okay? In the second example, that's a different cookie. So we can perhaps do the same thing. Cookie details and search for it. If you're using Stripe, which is popular for WooCommerce, you can perhaps read more about the cookie information accordingly. Okay? Let's have a look. Essential. Let's have a look. That's an essential. It's set for 30 minutes. Let's take a look. Okay, but hang on. Yes, that is set for 30 minutes. See, I must have made a mistake because I'm making these videos. I end up forgetting things. So now I made the update. It briefly told website visitors what this cookie is doing. And for a WooCommerce site, that's an essential cookie. And for other cookies, for tracking purposes, for Google Analytics, that's the ID of the cookie. It's set for this duration, and all of which can be found here. This is an absolutely critical part to be set up correctly. And then simply save changes. Okay? So I know it's going to take a bit of time, but you want to get this right because you do this once. And once you make this change, the next step is we need to block scripts. Obviously, you don't want to block Stripe when it's used for security. For Google Analytics, we can use regular expressions, select a category. For my example, it's targeting, because I'm tracking people using Google Analytics. If you're using Google Tag Manager, that's what you're doing as well. Okay. In my example, this is the pattern, but let's imagine you wanted to block Facebook pixel as well. Let's imagine that's the case. Just change that to that. So any pixel coming from Facebook will then be blocked, and save changes. Now, when you make these adjustments, you can export your settings because you've done the hard work. Right now it's all set up and it's consent mode version 2 ready. Your consent records are kept here. You can export them to your local computer for maintenance purposes. Perhaps you want to do this perhaps once a month, depending on how busy your WordPress site is. Once you download them, these consent records are important. Once you download them, you may perhaps want to delete the records from your WordPress site. Okay? So this plugin is a free plugin that is consent mode version 2 ready. It's just a matter of installing it, setting it up as I've shown to you, change it to your requirements in terms of color themes. There are other settings. Let's say you can change the location of the cookie banner. There are translations here. You can add them. Floating buttons, you can enable it if you want. So as you can see, it's a very powerful plugin and it's free. And it doesn't confuse the subject matter like some other ones. Now, if you've got any questions or comments, use the video commenting section. I thank you for learning with Rankia. And also, if you do operate a WooCommerce store or a WordPress site, then you definitely want to explore the masterclass for website optimization. Within an hour, I show you how to get better results from your website, whether it's WooCommerce or WordPress. In either case, please do give it a like to this video, because it requires a bit of time and effort to share with the WordPress community.